right, I have with me today Tarita Botsman and Glenn Amer. Hello, guys.
Hello.
joint effort there. You guys are up in Queensland today, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We're up in Brisbane rehearsing our new musical, Songs from Stage and Screen.
Now, we want to hear all about that musical. It sounds really wonderful. You're bringing it down to Sydney and it's going to be playing at the Concourse, is that right?
That's right. We have our Sydney premiere next week. We're very excited about that. And the musical itself is a new Australian jukebox musical set in Melbourne in 1956. And it follows the lives of Australia's most popular radio stars, a 1950s radio girl band. And they've been brought together by a radio personality, Mr. Harry Harris.
That's me.
That's played by him, Mr. Glenn Amer, our fabulous musical director. And he brings these girls together and they become this sort of overnight sensation and Australia's most popular voices. And, you know, they're on the front cover of New Idea and they're all the talk of town. But, you know, it's 1956 and they need to work out how to transition to the next big thing, which, of course, is television.
Yeah, but of course that doesn't really kill off radio, does it? You know.
Of course it doesn't. Although, of course it doesn't. But of course, in those days, you know, wireless was the king. It was the epicenter of the Australian household.
Now you guys have worked together quite a bit, haven't you?
22 years, but we're not counting.
Oh, don't say that.
No. You must have started when Tarita was a little child then. That's just amazing.
And I was even younger.
Don't believe him.
And Tarita, you've done lots of work all around Australia, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yes, I debuted at Opera Queensland when I was a wee lass, only 22, in the Mozart's Magic Flute as Papagena. And sang 20 or so roles in Australia before I went overseas. I worked with every state theatre company in Australia. And in fact, Opera Queensland was where I met this handsome, dashing, talented man sitting next to me, Mr. Glenn Amer.
Marvellous.
And we were doing Hansel and Gretel together, weren't we?
Right,
yeah?
Yes, 1996.
That was my first opera too. How about that?
Oh, was it really?
It was. And Glenn, you've worked everywhere as well. You've even been here in our Studio C, live performances, haven't you?
Many, many times. I started coming to what was then called 2MBS FM when I was about 11 years of age. So I feel like I've spent my life at 76 Chandos Street.
Oh, you'll feel right at home if you were here then. Next time you're here. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this wonderful show. So, because it's set in the 1950s, I'm assuming you've got fabulous costumes that are along those lines?
Absolutely. There are about 50 or so fabulous frocks that appear throughout the show. The first act is in monochrome colours with a splash of red, kind of indicating the fact that we are on radio and we're sort of missing one dimension. And then the second act, which then moves to television and is part of a television variety show, we go to pastel technicoloured brilliance after that.
Do you keep with the sort of 1950s radio feel as well?
We do. So there is a radio play within the play of the first, or the scenario of the first act. And yes, the setup is there. We've got a wonderful on-air, on-off-air sign that flashes.
And are they singing commercials?
They are. So as happened in that era, the radio stars had to do all of the commercials. So you can imagine that this creates wonderful sight gags, as we call them in the theatre, for the audience. We've got sound effects that happen. We've got wonderful commercials like the Colgate ad and Colatex stockings and Tony's home perming system, which makes for lots of fun in the first act.
Wonderful. Well, let's have a listen to one of the songs. Is this going to be in the show, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend?
It certainly is. It's right at the end of Act 2, and we have a fabulous pink frock worn by the character Cassie Martinez, who's a kind of wannabe Marilyn Monroe / Jane Russell type.
Fabulous. Well, let's have a listen now.
Best friend, best friend.
Wow, that was really lovely. So you've got quite a mix of songs within this, and they're not so much operatic ones, are they?
No, that's right. So the wonderful thing about that era is variety shows obviously lent themselves to variety. So we've got everything from Oh, What a Beautiful Morning to the Queen of the Night's aria in the second act. We've got a medley from Carmen, and then we've got Heat Wave.
Heat Wave, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, Moon River.
Teepa
Teepa
Two. Yeah.
Very good. And Glenn, can you tell us a little bit about the singers that are being used in the show?
Well, we have a wonderful mixture of both operatic talent and musical theatre singers. So they blend and combine their talents really well. Obviously, the musical theatre singers are also wonderful dancers and actresses, and they have so much fun. And we have so much fun rehearsing them, don't we, Tarita?
We do.
It's wonderful to see everybody sort of, using all of their talents to the best of their abilities. And vocally, of course, they all sing beautifully.
Fantastic. Well, we can't wait to see it. This sounds really good. So again, it's going to be at the Concourse. It's starting next Wednesday night, the 18th of April, and goes through to Friday. And you've got a matinee in there as well?
We do. We've got a Thursday matinee at 11 a.m. and you need to contact Chatswood Theatre online.
That will be theconcourse.com.au is where you can get tickets. And the name of the show is...
Songs from Stage and Screen.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me today, Glenn and Tarita.
Well, thank you for having us. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank you, Annabelle.